Knowledge management is a significant asset to any organization, nonprofit or otherwise. Now, in order to define knowledge management, it is best to first define knowledge. We all think we know what knowledge is, don't we? It has the word know right in there as its prefix, so clearly we understand it's what we know. But what exactly does that mean? And how is it different from data? Information. Is that not also stuff we know? Is there even a difference? Yes. There is a difference, and understanding that difference can make your job a lot easier. Data is the raw facts, and when looked at by itself, it often does not make sense or has no real meaning. You could have a bunch of numbers, but what are they for? Information is data with context. Take those same numbers and give them a title, such as phone numbers, and they begin to be useful. Knowledge, in turn, is information that is being applied to a situation in order to make use of it. Someone wishing to make a phone call could use one of those listed phone numbers. In addition to their knowledge for using a telephone. So then, now that we understand what knowledge is, what is knowledge management? By nature, an organization deals with data and information. In order to make these things useful, they are circulated and made into knowledge. Employees then use this knowledge to complete their jobs. In order for an organization to be successful, knowledge must be moved efficiently from one department to another, from one person to another. This is where the management comes in. It is a way to organize and disseminate this knowledge in order for people within an institution to use it and complete their jobs. The use of knowledge management has been around for a while, whether or not it's been a conscious decision. However, it has only been relatively recently that knowledge management has been used purposely. And therefore, a way to assess its success, or lack thereof, is necessary in order to ensure you are using it correctly. When it comes to creating your own assessment tool, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. Look into other similar organizations and use theirs as a template. And give proper credit, of course. Usually it's a survey of sorts that asks you to assess your organization's knowledge management system. It might look into issues such as any gaps in its information flow or how much value the employees put on knowledge management. For example, here is one designed by the American Productivity and Quality Center. They break theirs into 5 categories. The knowledge management process, leadership in knowledge management, knowledge management culture, knowledge management technology, and knowledge management measurement. By breaking their assessment into these groups, it's easier to comprehend how knowledge management affects your business. In addition to the assessment tool just previously explained, there are several other ways to gauge the effectiveness of one's knowledge management system within their organization. The IDEA Knowledge Management Strategy team has developed several to help organizations with this very need. One suggestion is to do a case study, which is particularly helpful for a specific project. A case study is a relatively thorough method for assessing knowledge management, which makes it very worthwhile. Generally, case studies are published and have archival value, benefiting any future employees to be in this position. Aspects that are generally included in case studies, according to IDEA, include the background to the problem, materials and sources required, and how the project could be done better. Another way to judge the success of knowledge management is through what IDEA refers to as gone well, not gone well, where those who are participating in a project or a very similar type of program compile a quick list as to what worked and what did not work. In this instance, the thoughts are still fresh and it's a very casual environment, which should help to encourage everyone to contribute. A third technique is a knowledge exchange. This happens once an employee leaves their position for whatever reason, to ensure that those in the future know what the job entails, what the previous employee had done specifically to complete their tasks, and how they solved any problem they faced, among other details. While most jobs have an unofficial knowledge exchange, it is best to have an official policy and copy in order to keep the procedure consistent. IDEA suggests taking steps such as having the new employee have a list of questions ready, and the employee who is leaving should decide on the proper way to package the exchange together, among a few others. Having an official policy for such an event is helpful as it kickstarts the new employee's career within the organization. Having all the relevant information right from the start instead of having to learn it as they go along, which will ultimately benefit the company overall as well. There is a reason why all of the fairy tales we heard growing up were actually lessons. People understand a point better when it's told as a story. Stories are naturally a part of us all, regardless of cultural differences or upbringings. It is one of the earliest forms of entertainment we have within our lives, and because of this, we are attuned to pay attention to them. People respond better to stories than just being lectured at. They also seem to be able to retain the meanings of the stories better, as they are able to see the parallels and be able to compare the story to their own lives and needs. Being able to find parallels in the stories and imagine how one would deal with these issues allows employees to live a situation before they have to. By the time they must complete the action that was illustrated in the story, they will already have had an idea of how to respond, allowing for a stronger confidence in their ability to achieve their goal. Ultimately, stories are one of the most ingrained aspects of our lives. We do not go a single day without seeing or hearing several stories. Whether it's the news or just talking with a friend or colleague about what they've been up to, stories are all around us, and we can use this natural propensity for stories to help our organizations along.